Good morning, everybody. I said I'm Sylvia Ehlers. I'm from MedicAlert. I'm one of the nurses that work for MedicAlert. And thank you, Gerald, for giving me the opportunity today to just show you what we're about and what we do. So can I just see by show of hands who recognises this symbol? Oh, brilliant. I can go home, I don't have to say anything. So, yeah, that is obviously the medical symbol. So I thought I'll start today by just telling you a little story of one of our members. She registered with us after having an vascular event, and they diagnosed her with Ehlers-Danlos. And she was really scared, coming on from the talk that we just heard. She was really scared, didn't want to go out the house, and she ended up losing her job. She stayed at home, just being miserable, really, really scared, leaving the house, didn't know what to do. So she heard about us, and we registered her, and she phoned me back probably about 4 weeks after she received her jewellery, and she said that MedicAlert has changed her life. She can live again. She actually said we enriched her life. So I said, well, you know, how so? And she went on to explain that she didn't feel alone anymore, because now she had a jewellery on and it was part of her everyday life, and she knew that medical professionals and emergency responders, by phoning the number on the back of her jewellery, they would gain access to her record, and they would be able to know what's wrong with her, how to treat her, and even plan ahead and get all her consultants' letters and everything that we scan into the records. And she even told me that she now booked a holiday to go to the Caribbean. So, you know, she's getting out there again and moving on. Now, we build a long-term relationship with our members. By doing so, we are a non-profit organisation, and any profit that we do make, we plough right back into our members. We've got an early start programme where we sponsor children under the age of 10. They get their first jewellery item for free and their membership up to the age of 10 for free. We have for those that perhaps can't afford it, and we're also trying to implement a family membership now. So, you know, if there's more than one person in the same family, then we would be able to help you as well. And a lot of our profit that we do make go back into training emergency responders for recognising the symbol, looking for the jewellery, and knowing what to do when they do get a patient in front of them with a MedicAlert. And as I said, we've got registered nurses. We would review your record, we would set up your medical record, we would make sure that it's medically sound, we would go through all of your consultant letters and all your scans that you give us, and the blue emergency card, we would scan that into your record, and we would make sure that your record is relevant for emergency use. Then we have a repair service. If your jewellery breaks, or you know, you lose weight, or you gain weight and just want it altered, we can do that for you. And then all our jewellery is personalised. It will have your unique membership number on at the bottom, and obviously your medical conditions, allergies, medication, anything you want us to engrave, we will engrave on there for you. We do a disc exchange on precious metals. So again, if you are diagnosed with more conditions or something else happens, we can add that on there for you, or diagnosed with allergies, we can do that. We do have special offers on. You know, keep looking at the website. I know there's a big special on at the moment on jewellery, and there's some jewellery even going for $9.95, so you can't really go wrong. Then we have the 24-hour emergency telephone line. I'll speak a little bit more about that in a moment, just what we do and how that works as well. So the question is then, who needs MedicAlert? Everybody. Whether you have allergies and want somebody to know not to give you a certain medication, or you need your EpiPen, or whether you are just a carer looking after someone, and if something happens to you, someone can go and look after your patient or your family member that you were caring for, or whether you've got vascular Ehlers-Danlos, or whether you just have a pet at home and want somebody to know that you've got animals at home if something happens to you, everybody needs MedicAlert. Okay, so how does MedicAlert work? So you have to register with us. We would then create you an electronic record. We would take some biographical details, your next of kin, your GP, your hospital, your consultant's details and phone numbers. We would all put that on your record. We would then create you a medical section on the electronic record, where we would keep all your medical conditions, your medications, your allergies, any implants, if you've got any stents, we record those as well. And then it would be there in an emergency. We also scan, as I said before, consultants' letters in and your emergency card, and if you're on steroids or anything like that, we include that on there as well. Now, your record will be reviewed by a nurse, a registered nurse like myself, and as I said before, we will make sure that everything is there in easy language, if you like, for medical professionals and emergency responders to get the information they need and the way to treat you straight up. Then you need to choose a jewellery item. I'll talk a little about the jewellery in a while. So whether you wear a necklace or a bracelet, it's all on the pulse point, so if they feel for your pulse, they would look for your bracelet. That's how we train them. And then we would engrave the back of the jewellery with your information on there. Now, we work with our members to make sure that they have the medical conditions and things engraved, so to give them the reassurance and peace of mind that when they do go out, that they would be helped in an emergency, and the emergency responder would get the right information. So we have a 24/7 emergency telephone line that's manned by the ambulance service. So when that phone call is made, medical professionals will pick up the phone straight away and relay any information, whether it's just they want your next of kin details or whether it is they need your whole record. We would provide that, can email that across or even fax that across as well. The 24/7 emergency telephone line, we have a translation service, so if you are ever abroad, we can translate in more than 100 languages, so you can be reassured that your medical information would be relayed in the doctor's own language, so no mistakes will be made there. So how can you register with us? How can you join? You can do that over the phone by phoning our membership services line. You can do that online or by post, filling out one of our leaflets, and we can join you up that way. Okay, we've got a range of jewellery. Now, I've got a few more jewellery items with me as well, if you guys want to come and find me in the break, if you're more interested in what our jewellery looks like. I don't think this slide is really representative of all the different things that we have out there, so please come and find me and I can show you the jewellery items that we've got. We do say when you do choose your jewellery, keep in mind your lifestyle. If you are a construction worker or you work with heavy machinery, we would always advise you to wear a necklace rather than a bracelet, because we don't want that to get trapped in heavy machinery or anything like that. Equally, if you're a young child, usually we say under the age of 11, then we would advise to go for a bracelet rather than a necklace. We found a lot of our young members, they get so attached to their jewellery items, and they want to sleep with it, they want to bath with it, they never take it off. So again, a child sleeping with a necklace around the neck might not be the best idea, so we say go for a bracelet. And equally, talking about small children, it is best to get young kids to wear the jewellery early so that they can get used to wearing the jewellery. We get a lot of our members that say, my child doesn't want to wear jewellery, what can I do? And so the earlier you get them to wear the jewellery, the better. We do have watches as well. That's very, very popular amongst teenagers, and it just looks like a normal watch, just with a symbol on the front, and medical professionals would recognise that. So if you don't necessarily look for the medical symbol, you might not realise that it's there, and friends and family might not even know that you're wearing a MedicAlert jewellery. Okay. Now, I'm here today because of the wonderful work that Annabelle Challenge is doing, so I thought it appropriate just to show you a few examples of what we can engrave. So if you look on your left at the top there, just Vascular Ehlers-Danlos call for details. Now, that's sort of the most popular one, really. You're telling them what medical condition you have and that they need to phone the number to get more details. Now, a lot of our members felt that, perhaps not everybody will know what Vascular Ehlers-Danlos is, and they wanted to have a little bit more information on there. So if you look at the one just below the first one, it says Vascular Ehlers-Danlos, at risk of internal bleeding, call for details. Now, being a nurse myself, if I see that in an emergency situation, alarm bells would go off in my head. Listen, there's something seriously wrong here. We need to get this person to an A&E and get them help as soon as possible. Equally, the next two discs there, this is actual wording that is on our members' jewellery. Again, beds on there, report of pain, need immediate investigation, call for details. And again, we can, like I said before, we can have your consultant treatment plan and letters on record that we can just, give them just if they make the phone call, and we can relay that information that, there could seriously be something wrong. Equally, the bottom one, anaesthetic risk, requires MRI, CT investigation, call for details. So we saw yesterday what images and things they can see with CT and MRI, so it is really important that emergency responders know that and can even phone ahead to make sure that the MRI machine is ready and waiting for you and it's empty, ready to use. So that is me basically done there. So again, in the future, would everybody recognise this symbol?